Yo, guys, big up to the to Man United fans, and welcome to the Football Overseas YouTube channel. We are back for another match preview. We're back after a long break, and it feels good, it feels exciting to have United play football once again. We have had that break since June. We had that break of June where we didn't see United play football, but now towards the end of July, we see United play football, and we're playing our first 90 minutes of football this weekend when we are playing against Wrexham when we're playing against Wrexham in Finland. Obviously, it is closer to home than it has ever been because last season's preseason series was in USA. Now this season's preseason series are closer home, and we'll be doing that. So obviously, before we start off, make sure you like the stream, yeah, to share with the other United fans as we get on with this match preview. And how hyped are you to see United play football? Because wow, I've missed the boys play football. I've missed the players, and it's a pattern that you have as a United fan. You you miss those that you miss those 11 players that run your weekend, and you wish, and when they play, they run your weekend, and you miss the adrenaline that comes with it. So I'm excited to watch Carrick's football. Very, very excited to watch Carrick's football. This is his first unofficial debut as as permanent manager, and let's see what he has in store for us. Yeah, so obviously each who could be missing the game? We know Ugarte is missing the game due to an ACL injury, and we know that Ugarte is linked to coming back to United end of the season, May or April 2027. So is out. The lead, the lead is out until mid to late October 2026. And Sesko injury, we all remember Sesko got an injury in the game against Liverpool, and Sesko won't be playing in this preseason game, and he won't be playing in much of the preseason games, maybe the later on preseason games, because he has a current grade 2 or grade 3 bone contusion injury. That is a deep bone bruise. That is when he hits the billboard. Yeah. So he'll be out until back end of July. Is there any suspensions for this game? No, none, no suspensions. And young players who could get minutes ahead of this game is we have the likes, I think the likes of Shelesi, Harry Amass could get minutes, Fredrickson could get minutes, Jack Fletcher, and JJ Gabriel has been a hot prospect upcoming, and he could get minutes in this preseason and this coming season that is coming. And a right back that is interesting within United, he's known to be a long-term replacement, long-term successor of Dalot, and it is Jaden Camerson. For those who know him, he plays in the under 18 Man United squad. Yeah. So obviously, so players who are missing this game, obviously due to the national team duty, we have Alessandro Martinez is expected to play in the final of the World Cup 2026. Then we have players who are missing it due to FIFA's break of 3 weeks break. That is people like Sen Element, Telsman, Matthias Konya, Kobe Menu, Marcus Rashford is meant to miss it. Ahmad Diallo, Mazwari, Bruno Fernandes, Dalot, Alta Bendia, Ugarte, and Tyler Fletcher. Those ones will be missing the game. And I know the list is a lot, but you are wondering who could be playing in this game. Yeah. So each player debuts could we see that I think most likely we see happen in this game. I see us having debuts from Shelesi, number one. He has been coming off the bench lately towards the end of 25, 26. You also him coming off the bench. And yeah, so it could be a strong prospect to making his debut with the way he's pacey and that wing as well. I think with Sesko being out injured, we could see a Bomo playing as a false number nine up there, and that leaves the right wing spot for an academy winger to have their debut, and who else to give their debut other than Chelsea. Another academy star who could take advantage of a starting role being vacant is Jaden Camason. He's viewed internally as a long-term successor to Dalot. That's what United Carrick view him internally as a long-term successor to Dalot. And let's be honest, right now our right back options are currently on a break. Dalot has played for Belgium, for Portugal. He's on a break, and Mazzari, he was called for Morocco and is on a break. So that leaves either Camason to make his debut for the senior team, or it leaves United to call up that other guy as well. So it's one of those options, but you tell me in the comments who do you think will make the World Cup, the debut for the senior team in this match that's coming up against Wrexham. Also, another player who could make the debut is Fletcher. I know you're wondering why the Fletcher brothers. Why again? Simply because we don't have numbers. Yeah. Injury returns. There's no injury returns. Wrexham's head-to-head form, head-to-head and form-wise, Wrexham has been on here and there. Yeah, when you can tell that they have conceded a quite number. The defense is quite leaky as such, conceding 5 goals in the last 5 games that they have played, which means that an average of 1 goal per game. They have scored 6 goals. It means they've scored 1 goal. They've scored 1 goal per game, and as many goals as they give, as they score, is the same amount of goals that they concede averagely. It means it's not a team that is strong as such, but again, United has a tendency of not being strong and playing sloppy football against teams like Wrexham, because last season we lost to Grimsby Town. Each pissed the hell out of me, and I don't want to lose to Wrexham. Last time we played Wrexham was in 2023, and that was a horrible performance from our boys. Even though it was pre-season, we lost to Wrexham 3-1, and we lost to Wrexham in USA. It was in 2023 July that when we lost to Wrexham. For those who remember that match, you remember it quite well. So United has played Wrexham 6 times in a row, and Wrexham Wrexham has only managed to get 1 win out of those 6 times. United have managed to get 5 professional wins, and yeah, so that tells you a bit of history about United. We have always dominated against Wrexham, and Wrexham's only win is in a non-professional game. Yeah, so United it's a must-win game. Obviously, it's a must-win game to get the foot on the right pedal, and a must-win game as well, so that we can show Wrexham that their win against us isn't is their win against us was that luck, and it wasn't, yeah, something new. You get what I'm saying? It wasn't a fluke. It was just a fluke win. Wrexham's form, the last five games, Lexham has played currently a club friendly game, which means in terms of match fitness, They are fitter than us so far, and they have that match readiness than we don't. Even though we have been doing a lot of match preseason training, but they have played a game. You can see, you will see the sharpness. They are more sharp than we are, and you'll see that when United plays. Obviously, we have a break. We have had a break. We haven't had 90 minutes of much sharpness yet, and I don't know whether United has played a game close in closed doors. But if you have, that would be amazing. But if you haven't, we're in for a bit of a rough start because Wrexham has played 90 minutes of football, which makes them a bit much sharper than we are. So in their game, I guess we'll share Kako. I don't know which team that is, but it is the first friendly of the summer 2026. They played it on 11th July 2026, and it was a 0-0 draw away from home. It wasn't the best performance, but it was to get some minutes in the legs, and they'll know what mistakes that what they should work on and what they should not do ahead of United's game. But here's a running to the end of the season. Wrexham ended the season of the AFL Championship with a 2-2 draw against Middlesbrough. That was an impressive draw against Middlesbrough, and they were smashed by Premier League by the Premier League team Coventry City 3-1. It was a horrible performance. They beat Oxford United. Oxford United went down, if I'm not wrong, 1-0, and they beat Stoke City 2-0 as well. So those are teams that are lower table. They beat those teams, and those teams that are higher table, they were smashed by Coventry City, and they took a draw against Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough missed promotion to a fluke. They missed promotion to a fluke, and I don't know how they didn't get promoted because in that game against Hull City, Middlesbrough should have gotten promoted, but anyway, it is what it is. Our form, we haven't played a 90 minutes game, and we are unbeaten for the last 5 games, so that is good form so far, and that's something we should be proud of. We have had 4 wins in the last 5 games, and the only we have had a draw against Sutherland. It was 0-0. Obviously, this is our first game without Casemiro. I like to see how United plays without Casemiro. I like to see how Antonio Santos plays as well without in that midfield because he'll be making my debut as well. And yeah, mhm. The last time we played against Wrexham, the current Wrexham players who scored against us were people like Max Clay Worth, who provided an assist, and Ely, who provided a goal. Apart from that, I think the other ones have either departed West Wrexham or not. Wrexham's informed players, based on the last 5 games, so, players like J. J. Win, Jen Winders has provided 4 goals for Wrexham. Is someone in United's defense should look out for because he has been a real threat for any team playing against Wrexham. Yeah, and he'll be looking after a long break. He'll be looking to continue where he left off. Also, someone like Sam Smith. Sam Smith has had a goal and an assist. Also, someone like Thompson. Jay Thompson has had an 8.2 rating, match dominating game, and he has had provided an assist. So he'll be looking to impress against United, and also some yeah. So Rathbone will not be I'll not call him a threat to United because he has only provided one goal in the last 5 games in terms of, yeah, but apart from that, none as well. United players who could help us, and players who I would say could be a key player for our game. I'll say people like Obomo, Obomo as a false nine. I feel like he could have a very good game against Wrexham, and Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire will tend to want to have a good game against Wrexham. He wants to give that leadership, yeah, skills and abilities. Also, for somebody like Patrick Dogo wants to impress Michael Carrick and to cement his role as a left winger while Cunha is away. So we also Dogo had always have good performances as well. My starting 11. So what will be my preferred starting 11 rather than my predicted starting 11? My preferred starting 11 goalkeeper, we know Laments is out. Laments is out on his break. I don't want to start Bendia. Vitek Vitek is either one of it Hiton or Vitek. Dilau Dilau I'll not want to start him against Wrexham because it is, yeah, so, and I feel like Hiton is more of our preseason goalkeeper because we saw him start last summer's preseason. So I'll start with Hiton. That is my goalkeeper there. Left back, I'll have Luke Shaw. There's no other left back. I'll start there. Maybe, will I give minute to Harry Amass? Maybe I'll give him off the bench. I could give him some minutes off the bench, maybe or not. Um, Centre back, left centre back. I'll go for Lenny Euro. Yeah. Right centre back, I'll go for Harry Maguire. Right back, I'll go for Jaden Camerson. He has had some good stints for the Man United at the 18th towards the end of the season. And Rex XDM will go for Santos. Santos has been is a new signing. I'd like to see what Santos go performs against Wrexham. I really would like to see what he does, and I want to see what he has for United fans because he'll be wanting to impress on his unofficial debut. I'm saying unofficial because this is not an official game as such; it's a friendly game. Then an interesting name that I'll name here that maybe United fans know or have forgotten is Dan Gore. He's an academy DM, and if he's starting, I want him to start for this game, I guess, next to Santos. And yeah, it will be interesting. I want to see what he does. Because I was conflicted when I was doing this predicted 11 whether I should have Mason Mount and Santos together. But then I asked myself, who will I play in the attacking midfield, Lord? Because Bruno Fernandes is out injured, is out on his break. But anyway, let's go to the attack. Attack will left wing we have Dogo. That's that's not a debate about it. Right wing. I'm debating between Shelesi or Metato. I don't know which one do you guys prefer between those two. Should Shelesi get minutes or should Matato get minutes? It between you guys to decide. But I'm going for Shelesi to get minutes over Matato to get minutes. But anyway, we'll decide upon that later on. And Striker is Bomo. I don't want to start Zaxi. Zaxi, he should be on his way out. And I feel like if we start Zaxi against Wrexham, he'll slow the game down. Yeah. And yeah, so attacking midfield role. And yeah, that's the dilemma that I have is why they are playing Mount. So I play Mount in his natural attacking midfield role and then have an academy CM be on the left CM side, or should I play Mount in the CM spot and have an attack academy attacking midfielder? So I think for my predicted 11, I went with the more balanced way because I thought about it and looked and said, will I really want two academies players next to each other? So I put Mount as the attacking in the attacking midfield role, and I put Dan Gore in the left CM role. Yeah, so for me it could be either Dan Gore or Toby Collyer as well. One of those two could start in that role. hmm On the bench, oh, oh, oh. So my predicted bench will be Heaton, either one of Heaton or Vitek, depending on who starts. And then centre backs will be Fredrickson and Heaven. I know those two centre backs will be on the bench for sure. Mm, Left back, it could be Leon or Amass. One of those two. Yeah, if Jaden Camison is starting, then I'll have Ugani as a right back on the bench. If Camison is not starting, I'll have Camison on the bench. CM, I'll have somebody like Daniel Gore on the bench. If Daniel Gore is not on the bench, then somebody like Toby Collyer on the bench. Then attacking midfield role, I'll have somebody like Jim Fuet on the bench as well. If Jack Fletcher is starting, but if Jack Fletcher is not starting and Jim Threat is starting, then Jack Fletcher should be on the bench as well. Mhm. Then my right wing role, I'll have somebody like Matato and Ethan Williams. And Ethan Williams and my striker, backup striker on the bench, I'll have something like Shido or Bill Martin. So my predicted bench is mostly like a youth predicted bench because my starting 11 is mostly senior. You can say because let's be honest, I only have two academy stars who are no, I only have three academy stars who are in the starting 11. So that means that leaves eight seniors are starting for me, and yeah, and on the bench I only have So that leaves a lot of academy stars to be on the bench because I know Carrick will have two 11s that he'll have for this game. One will be a youthful 11, so mostly that will mean either the youth will start the game or the senior team will be on the bench. So it's a tight balance between those two. But anyway, see, my what I think will likely happen is obviously Camerson is staying my back four and goalkeeper is remaining the same. What I think will most likely happen is I think Mount will play as a left CM. Could see Mount playing as a left CM. Yeah, because I don't know whether it's true, but Carrick wants to experiment Mount as a CM role in the future, and that will be an interesting experiment. And if he wants to play Mount there in that pivot, then he want to experiment against. He wants to see how he does against Wrexham, a less opponent. So I could put Mount there in the left CM role. Yeah. Oh, should I put him on the right CM role? On the attacking field role? It depends though. And then yeah, left wing, right wing stays the same. Attacking field role, I see somebody more of like Jack Fletcher or James White starting there behind somebody like a Bomo. But again, will Carrick play a more of a 4-2-3-1 or will he play a more of a 4-3-3? It depends because yeah, it's an interesting formation and dilemma that you have here. Whether you want to play an academy attacker midfield behind a false nine who's not really a striker as such. Yeah, it's interesting dilemma, but what are my score predictions? I'll not go for a high scoring game. Your big up names, yeah, big up names. Make sure you like, subscribe. Yeah, what are my score predictions? I know score for high scoring games. I've seen links. I've seen most United content creators say we'll go for a 3-1 win. I think this will be a more conservative win considering how tight it is. I'll go for a 2-1 win, very conservative, and I think United will score two goals, and Wrexham will score a goal in the second half. United, the Wrexham will score a goal because United's defense will lose concentration, but it will be a bright performance, a very, very bright performance. That's a bit, I'm predicting it now. You'll see towards the end of the game, United's defense will lack concentration, and it could look as if Wrexham could get an equalizer, but United will get that win eventually 2-1. But if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, like, and share, and come on United, get a win. It's a first game. It's a first game of the preseason. Get that win in Finland, and sadly, I'll not be doing a watch along for this game, but for those who I'll be back for the next game, and I'll see you guys next time on the Football Overseas YouTube channel where passion meets sports and come on United, grow it United. Yeah, and let's see what next season brings for us. What this season brings for us. Hopefully, it brings for us a higher position. But for sure, I know one thing it will bring for us is we are finishing above Liverpool. Not one for sure, I know. Yeah, but apart from that, I'll see you guys on the next stream.